So I think it's time we build something new in this world, and I've been eyeing up the land just down here for a little while, and what I think I'm going to do is try and build up a forest, as it's a bit of a challenge. I'm not too good at custom trees, but I've taken some inspiration from other people's trees, and I've come up with some designs in creative I could show you now. So here we are in my creative test world, and these are designs I've got. So they're clearly, I think, inspired by the BOO trees he did in his recent forests he's been building, as I just think they're really beautiful. And I've looked at a few other sort of reference images online of trees, some of them Minecraft, some of them real, and I think these sort of spruce trees could be quite cool to make a forest with. I particularly like the use of toughened acacia here, as it just kind of creates a more realistic kind of grey wood. I've also added my own touch though, adding in some pale oak and stuff, just to add a little bit more texture and some extra shadow on the larger trees. But what I think I'm going to do is take these 8 designs, rotate them around and mirror them and stuff, and place a load of them in a test world so I can kind of come up with a plan of how the forest could look, and then I think I'm just going to build using these ones as like a palette, a small forest. So one thing I have realised is, as well as needing a lot of leaves for this build, I'm also going to probably need a lot of moss because I'm using it to kind of texture the floor. So I think my best bet, honestly, is just to go and get a diamond hoe, enchant it up, and use it just to gather a load of moss as quickly as possible. Okay, so the plan is just to roll till I can get silk touch and hopefully efficiency. So that was easy. Okay, so now I just need to put on breaking 3 and mending on this hoe. So I've got some resources, and I don't think there's anywhere near enough yet, but I think it's a good start. So the next thing I need to do is probably do a shulker full of the actual blocks for the trunk of the trees. And then I also need a shulker full of moss and a load of other building blocks to do the ground. So off I went and gathered all the resources I just said I needed, and here are those resources. So as you can see, I've got plenty of different things to use. However, I'm still not quite done, as there's one final thing I need, and that's grass. Because as a builder who likes to do terraining and stuff, you sometimes find that placing grass by hand is just the best way to do it. So I think what I'm going to do is grab some food and fly out and get grass and probably a few ferns, so I have plenty to place. So now we've got 4 shulker boxes full of different resources I'm needing, and I think I'm just going to start with a quick time lapse of me placing in the first few trees. Okay, so there's the first 2 trees done, and already I think they look quite nice. I really like the kind of shape we got going here with the little branches sticking out. And my plan for this forest is for it also to be spawn proofed, because I think that way it should also just help increase our rates on my creeper farm up there. But I think this is already looking good, and what I might do is just place in a couple more trees and see you with an update. Well, there's still quite a few trees left to go, but I think this is giving me a good idea of what this area is going to look like. So I'm going to do the rest of these trees in my own time, and I'll see you once they're all done. Okay, so now all the trees have been put in place, and it's starting to look really cool. I think this shows sort of the scale of the forest I'm going for quite nicely. But obviously we're nowhere near done on this project still, as if you walk around the forest you'd notice there's a lot more there than just trees. You have your leaves on the ground, you have your shrubs, you have fallen sticks and everything, and you'll have like little streams. There's a lot more that goes into it. So the next step is to fill out this whole area and make the whole thing just look a lot more sort of integrated into the landscape. And once that's done, I think it's going to look incredible. But for now, the view from up here at least is starting to look quite good. If you sort of block off your view a bit with the wall, kind of see what it's going to look like. So to start the decorating of the terrain, I first went through and textured the ground so it wouldn't all just be flat grass. After that I filled up the lake with a load of water, then I added foliage along with the general decorations like the campfire I'm showing you now, which was by far the most enjoyable part of the process, as it was really fun being able to decorate the area and fill it in with loads of leaves. However, then came the most tedious part of the process, which unfortunately was placing in loads of grass and tall grass by hand. It took quite a while and wasn't very fun, however the end result I think speaks for itself and it was worth it in my opinion. So there we go, the forest is now done, and there's a lot of details here that I really like. For example, if you come down here, see a little wagon that's fallen into the lake over here. I really hope you like this build, and if you do, consider dropping a like on the video to let me know. That would really help me out. So while I clean up this mess of shulker boxes, you can enjoy this footage of the area, and I'll see you in a minute. Well, I hope you enjoyed that sort of little cinematic I just did. I was trying to use a bit of storytelling and stuff going on to kind of make it a bit more interesting. And it was, for those long-time viewers of the channel, it was a bit of a return to form as I used to use those sorts of shaders and I haven't for a while. But I just thought it might make it a bit more interesting and show off the woods in a slightly more sort of aesthetically pleasing manner. But I hope this video has given you some ideas of the sort of direction I'm taking this world. I want to hopefully build out lots more areas like this, sort of filling in between the builds, as it's one thing I think a lot of builds lack. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider subscribing, and there's a playlist on the end screen now with all the other videos from this series.